Hello everybody, John here from the Esports Department, and I'm here to do a quick info tutorial on how to use our projections and how to build lineups using our projections for League of Legends. This is important because our projections are not really similar to like a classic NBA or NFL set of projections that you would see. The main reason for that is that in League of Legends, winning is a large correlation to your score as opposed to something like the NBA where, LeBron James, regardless of what the score ends up being, he's likely to end up with a lot of points, assists, rebounds. He might sit the fourth quarter or something, but in general, it doesn't really matter whether the Lakers win or lose. LeBron's going to get LeBron's points. In League of Legends, winning is super correlated to your scoring. If your team does not win, you're very likely going to end up with a very poor score. The reason for that, just to give a quick explanation, is that as you start to get ahead in League of Legends, your team gets stronger and stronger, making it so that in subsequent encounters, you're more and more likely to win. Given that all the points in League of Legends scoring mostly come from kills and assists, if your team can't get kills because they're really far behind, then you're very likely to lose, not score very many fantasy points. It's very likely that a game could be like 4-4 at the 15-minute mark in kills. Then the next fight, one team wins it, and now it's 8-5. And now that team that has 8 is significantly stronger than the team that has 5. So the next time they fight, they might get something like a 5-0, and then it might end up 13 kills to 5. Then there might be another fight, it might end up 18 kills to 6. If a game plays out like that, the team that has 6 kills, nobody on that team is going to score very many fantasy points. The team that has 18, everybody on that team is going to get a good share of assists and kills out of those 18 kills. So you really want to be stacking from teams that are going to win. But importantly, we've created our projections to be in-win projections, which means that all the projections that we're giving you here are what we think these players will score if they win. It doesn't have any value to give you an average projection. Like, let's say that a KT player, I would expect them to score 100 when they win and 30 when they lose. There's no point in projecting them at 65 points, which is the average of those two things, because they'll never actually score 65 points. They're either going to score 100 or they're going to score 30. And so projecting them at 65 doesn't help you as someone who's trying to build your lineups correctly. So instead, what we did to get around that is we've just projected them in wins. That way, you just have to decide who you think is going to win and build your lineups from there. If you're new to League of Legends and you don't know who's going to win, you can check your bookmakers to see what the odds are. You can read Gelati's content or watch my videos, and we'll talk about who we think is going to win or what the various outcomes that are possible for these matchups are. But it's important that you must know who's going to win. So if you just walk into our projections right now, this is a 2-game slate that's going to happen tomorrow. KT Rolster against Damwon, Fred at Brion against Sandbox. There's only 2 games here, so only 2 of these teams are going to win. If you just walk into the projections blindly and just click Optimize, you're going to get a lineup that has all 4 teams in it. A KT Rolster player, a Fred at Brion player, 3 Damwon players, 2 Sandbox players. This is a very, very bad lineup. You do not want to be playing players from all the teams. It's extremely rare that you would want to play 2 players who are opposing each other at any time. It's extremely, extremely rare that situation would occur where you would want to do that. So what you have to do is before you optimize lineups, you have to decide who you think is going to win and eliminate the other teams. So if we have Damwon and KT, let's say we think Damwon is going to win, we think Sandbox is going to win, so we eliminate their opponents, then we optimize. Now we've come up with an optimized lineup. And this is a good, solid lineup to play today. That is how you have to do building with our tools. If you're going to use our projections, you have to eliminate teams that you think are going to lose. Now, sometimes it gets even a little bit more complicated. Like, let me pop back a little bit. Here's a 5-game slate that happened last week. So here, you still don't want to do exactly like I just did with the 2-game slate. You don't want to just let me eliminate 1 team from every matchup. Now you have 5 teams remaining. You still don't want to just do this and click Optimize. This is going to give you, 4 teams here? Now you have a 4-team lineup. Some of these teams are going to score higher than others, and given that all the players' scoring is correlated to how many kills they got, there's going to be some teams that scored significantly better than others, and you want to be heavily invested in those teams. So what you want to do with this is go, okay, given the research that I've done, given the projections that I'm seeing, given the stats I'm looking at, I think Dignitas and Team Liquid are going to be the 2 best scoring teams. I will eliminate everybody but them and go ahead and pop out a lineup. Now, this is a very good lineup. then you can create another one for a different GPP. If you want to hedge, you can say, well, I'm not 100% confident in Team Liquid. I kind of think FlyQuest could be good. I'll do another one with Dignitas and FlyQuest. There's another lineup that's good. Then, I'm not sure about Dignitas. Let's do FlyQuest and Golden Guardians. This is generally how you're going to create lineups for League of Legends. You want to get it down to a couple teams, then you can optimize it in and get the best lineups out of those two teams, whoever you think is going to be the better scoring teams on the slate. The one caveat that I'll throw in there while we're touching on this, especially for the bigger field GPPs, but it can be useful in all things, there's one slot on your lineup, this team slot, does not correlate to the player scoring the same way that the players correlate to each other. It does correlate in the sense that winning teams will still score more points than losing teams, but the team slot doesn't care about kills or assists. So if you think that, say, Dignitas and FlyQuest are going to be the two highest scoring teams on the slate, sometimes it's alright to build a lineup with those two teams, and then for a little bit of differentiation, or if you think another team might have a more controlled win, which is what's going to give points in the team slot, maybe you take Dignitas out of the team slot and you can put a third team in there in the team slot. Because the team slot doesn't care about kills, if you think these are the bloodiest players from the bloodiest matchups, but TSM is going to have the most controlled victory, you can play a 3-team lineup like this. It's kind of similar to the defense in NFL. I know the defense correlates somewhat to the offensive player scoring, but Mahomes can't throw passes to the defense. So in that sense, it doesn't correlate, and that's the same thing with the team slot here. Think of the players that you have here as basically like quarterbacks and receivers that are on the same team. They're all correlating to each other. Unlike NFL, though, passing the ball to one of them doesn't take away a target from another one, so you actually just want as many people as you can from that team. Imagine if every time a guy scored a basket in basketball, all of his teammates got an assist. That's how you want to view this. You want to be stacking the teammates together. If you think that team is going to score a lot of points, then everybody's just going to be getting a whole bunch of assists off those points. That's how you want to be stacking teams for League of Legends. So just to make sure everybody understands, I thought I'd throw this video together. Understand the point of in-win projections, that the projections that we're giving you are only what we expect them to score in a win, and understand how the stacking works. That way, if you're buying our subscription through Fantasy Labs or if you're buying it through our site, you're not just going to come in here and make some mistakes and wonder why you're not winning. If you have any further questions about this, feel free to hit up the Esports Department Discord. You can find me on Twitter at the Esports Plug. I'm also in the Discord. You can find Gelati at GelatiLOL. Hit us up and ask us any questions you might have, and I'm sure we can answer them for you and help you really dig in and make some money this League of Legends season. Thank you guys for your time. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.